Well, good morning, everybody. Yay! Is everybody good and awake today? Listen, I've consumed so much caffeine, the carpet's moving. Woo! Y'all go ahead and have a seat. I'm just kidding. The carpet's not moving. You guys are, but the carpet's not. I'm just kidding. We are in week 2 of a series entitled Tribes, and we're going to cover a lot of ground, and we have already, and hopefully you kind of put on the end of your tongue something really cool that you want to come back and taste and understand how great and how good God is, how well He orchestrates plans to build things in the earth. Before we get started, though, really quick, to every guy in here, we're going to be going to the Rock Family Worship Center tonight at 6 p.m. Starts at 6 p.m. They're having a man's gathering. Pastor Keith will be preaching there as he did here Friday. So if you want to tag along, we'll all go. Got to be there at 6 p.m. tonight at the Rock Family Worship Center. Hear from Pastor Keith and Pastor Rusty, and it'll be a really good time. So if you're like, man, wish the man's conference wasn't over, well, this one is, but we can go to another one about 40 minutes from here. So it'll be cool. So I'm going to do a little bit of review just because maybe this is your first time, maybe you're logged in for the first time. Really quick, everybody give a shout out to Carson City, Michigan, our campus that'll be launching in October. Thank you guys for being with us. What's up, Gene? And then also there's a group of guys in India that are logged in with us this morning. Guys doing really cool things through technology. So y'all are excited. Like, no, I know India's that's a big deal. Listen, y'all have any idea how hard it is to communicate, and they're having their little conversations. They look at me, they give me facial expressions. I'm like, I got something on my face. What are y'all doing? So if I say tribes. So starting in week 1, we talked about that really we're all created to live in this tribal system that kind of exists in the earth. And what connects all of us together, and we decide to be in a tribe, and whether you know it or not, you either consciously made a decision to be a part of a group of people, and the reason you chose those group of people is because they lined up. This is what anthropologists say. Tribes are built around beliefs and core values, and those things show in the way that people dress, and the way that they talk, the way they wear their hair, face paint. If you really look back at some of the older tribes, and if you were to go to Central and South America, some of the things that they do to identify themselves from other tribes. And we need to understand that as human beings, we see the word as clique, something really, really negative. And I can see how it becomes that, but you also have to understand that that's how we're made. We're made to be drawn to like-minded people. And what we rally around really are the belief system of those group of people. We identify with that, the vision that they have, that's where they're going to go, and the values that they possess. So when you start talking about God's system and how it's set up, you need to understand that all of those things together, like the belief system, the attitudes, kind of like, have you ever walked into a room and felt the room? Walk in and go, have you ever walked into a room and went, man, it's really funky in here. I don't really know what's going on, but it's just not right. Or you walk into an environment like, man, I feel like I'm home. It feels good. It's peaceful. What you're feeling, and this is so hard for communicators to describe, is what you're feeling is known as culture. Culture is built on beliefs, attitudes, and then behaviors. Your beliefs always dictate your attitude. So like if you struggle having a super positive attitude, and people who have super positive attitudes kind of get on your nerves, then what you're seeing is your belief system coming out in your attitude. And so if you want to change your attitude and you want to change what it feels like to be around you, what you really have to work toward is changing your belief system. It's why God, in His infinite wisdom, spends so much time on telling us what to think about, what to think on, what to say, what to do, because what He wants more than anything is for His people, if I say me, to build what is known as a kingdom culture. And so here, we try really, really hard to build a kingdom culture. What does that mean? Well, when Jesus teaches us to pray, He says, I want you to pray that His kingdom come, His will be done on earth as it is in heaven. What Jesus is trying to get us to understand as in God's family, that we are to establish, make known, let people feel a kingdom culture in the earth. So Jesus says one, if not the greatest, one greatest identifier that we are God's people, that this is God's culture, would be one word. Anybody know what that word is? Starts with L. Everybody say it. 1, 2, 3. It's love. He says, listen, people will know you by, and check it out. Here's what's kind of hilarious. By your love for each other. Yes, your love for other people, love your neighbors, yourself, but he makes a very powerful statement. He says, people will know when they come into my house and experience the feeling that I want in my house and around my people by, like this, by how you love your family members. Because we're all in God's family. Like it says that we are brothers and sisters in Christ. So look at the person behind you and say, I love you. I did the behind you thing because you're sitting next to somebody you came with, so hopefully you already love them, okay? But the person behind you, you're like, well, I don't know that person. So here's a little bit of a challenge now as we leave here, because this is part of our culture. So you just told somebody possibly you know, or possibly you've never seen before in your life, that you love them. And it was super awkward. And you're like, wow, okay. Well, now what you need to do is meet them when you leave here. Say, hey, we had a little awkward conversation in the church. I told you I loved you, so I figure I should know your name. How you doing? My name is so-and-so. And so, why? Because this is God's house. This is our house. Everybody, it should feel loved. They should feel like they matter. They should feel like that we want them to be a part, that we can't do life without them. And so we got to kind of get past our personality differences. And I know there's all of that, and there's some legitimacy to personalities. However, I try to challenge people here at Epic all the time. If you were at your house, the place that you pay the mortgage or you pay the rent, and somebody came in your front door, it's not like you're going to sit on your couch and not speak to them, I hope. Like, how awkward would that be? Like, you invited somebody to come over, they come in, and you sit on the couch, you don't say anything to them, and they just sit there and watch TV. And there's no conversation. How weird would that be, right? It would be, and they get up and go to your refrigerator. And they, like, go to your kids' bedroom, and they go check out your bedroom. But yet you've not spoke. We really need to transfer that mentality and that vision of how awkward that is to God's house and know that this is God's house, but it's also our house. So anytime somebody comes in that you don't know, what would you do if that happened at your house? You'd get up, you'd go to them and say, hey, man, thanks for coming. Here's my name. Here's your name. How long have you been coming here? Here's what's going to happen. This is a fairly good-sized church. On average, in America, it's true here, the average Christ follower attends church every 6 to 8 weeks. So not y'all. Y'all are here every week, but some people. So what does that mean? It means two things. There are people that come every single week, but they may come to the 11, and you're like you're a 9 sold out person. You're a 9 a.m., like I'm 9 a.m. Well, not everybody can do that. Like how many if your life wasn't the way it was right now, you'd totally be 11 a.m. person. Like you're making adjustments, of course. So some people are 11 a.m. I would be a 6 p.m. I feel like we need to have a 6 p.m. service, but it just me and like 3 other people, so it really doesn't fit. But if I wasn't doing what I do, I would want a later service because I don't dig early. How many feel me? Okay? So what does that mean? You got to meet everybody in here because they may have came to the 9 3 weeks ago and then they showed up at 11, and so you got to, everybody say mingle. You got to mingle, and then you're going to ask them, how long have you been coming? Well, I've been coming here for 12 years. And we're like, oh, wow. Now it gets awkward because you don't know what to say, right? You're like, I've been coming for like 6, you've been coming for 12, and we haven't met yet? Yes. Like that's what's going to happen when the tribe gets larger. And that's the thing that most people struggle with when the tribe gets larger. Like, well, I just like, here's what they say, and I'll tell you what they mean by what they say. I just like smaller environments. What they're saying is the culture is beginning, the culture that we used to have where everybody felt known and needed is starting to go away. I don't feel like I matter. I don't feel like I can get plugged in. I see people fall in the cracks. And here's what I would say to all of us. If that is or does happen, then we as the family have to shoulder that responsibility. We have to step in and make sure that that doesn't happen. Is it going to happen? Yes. Nothing is perfect because we're in it. But we have to strive to that part of the tension. Man, I want to meet everybody that I can. So back to my personalities. If you're in here and you're the life of the party, who is in here a party waiting to happen? Raise your hand. There's not going to be that many, to be honest with you. There's not many parties waiting to happen, but raise your hand because I'm giving you a chance to be seen, which is like your greatest desire in all the earth. Okay? That's your deal. I'm here. Woo! Like that's your, yeah. So listen, here's what you're going to do. You're going to talk to 50 people, high five, hey, what's up? Go to the next one. And that person's like, hey, what's up? Right? How many of you met somebody, you came here the first time and you saw the life of the party and they're like, hey man, what's up? You're like, wait, okay, well. Or that life of the party ran into what is probably known as an introvert. And you expected this long, deep, connective conversation and we're going to find a little corner and get in it and I'm going to find out everything I need to know. And the life of the party just flew by. It's like a drive-by hello. Hello. And right there in your personality, you're like, wow, man, nobody really cares. So here's what I need for all my answers. How many of you, just by me saying raise your hand, you're like, man, people are going to look at me. So go ahead. Just listen right here. Let's do it right here. Like, I don't need attention. So here's what I need you to do. I need you to find the people like you because you can recognize them. You see them come in the front door. How many already know what an introvert looks like coming through the front door for the first time? Like, they're already sweating, and not because it's hot in Alabama. Like, and love my wife, but the minute she says, hey, we don't let anybody sit alone. So that person in the back corner, somebody go over there and sit by them. The person in the back corner is going, please, God, I'm here. That's why I sat back there. I didn't want to come down here. I didn't want to be hugged. I'm just trying to get through the day. How many introverts in here, when she said that, you were like, I'm never coming back. I'm just not. Like, they want to touch everybody. They like talk to you. So I get it. I understand. So all personalities, all makeups, all thought processes are welcome. You just have to know how to use that in order to make everybody feel known, welcome, needed, loved, and appreciated. So introverts, find your fellow introverts. Get in a corner. Get over there. Kumbaya it up. Whatever y'all talk about. Be in the thing. Like, legitimately, that's me. Like, you need to know, as a part of this tribe, I am 100% introverted. I like to talk at the most with 2 people at a time. Anything above 2 people, I get nervous. I don't know why that is. I don't have some kind of overwhelming trauma as a child where 20 people beat me up. I don't know. That's just kind of how I am. And so, like, if we get, so we had a party at our house, which we have lots of those because I'm married to a party waiting to happen. And there's always one happening. So we invited 52 people in my house. Now look, here's the deal. It's 52 individuals I love. Individuals. If any of those 52 individuals or married couples came over, totally cool, totally fine. But you put 52 people in my house? Y'all know where that little corner is in your house where nobody really notices it when you walk around? Listen, I wanted to be in that corner. Now look, I found some. I found several. Like, I was walking around, where did so-and-so go? And I went into, like, what is our front dining room where nobody really, how many have a house in your room that should not be there? Right, so I have one of those, and they're literally, if you walk through the doorway, there's a corner right here that you don't ever, there's 4 people in the corner. Like, it looks like a really tight football huddle. And they're all leaned in, and you can't hear what they're saying. Because I don't think they were even talking. They were just trying to be safe. So I'm trying to get outside my personality and work the room and do all that stuff. So Here's what I'm trying to say. Sometimes you have to let purpose trump personality. Sometimes you got to be willing to be uncomfortable because we care about people, and people being connected to us is super, super important, because what we offer is the kingdom. What we offer is the gospel. What we offer is true life transformation, and people just want to be a part. So the way God set that up, he said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to establish a family. Everybody say family. So God establishes a family in the earth. He starts with Adam and Eve with the idea that he would develop tribes. So last week we talked about family of origin, family of choice, how God set up the family and what that looks like. If you were not here, please go watch that. It'll make some of this make more sense, but today will make sense anyway. So God, in his infinite wisdom, set up families, and then he began to develop tribes. 12 tribes of Israel were made up of families. A tribe is a little bit bigger than a family. It's made up of multiple families. And why? Because he wanted to create a nation. Everybody say nation. Which was known as the nation of Israel. Why? To establish a kingdom. That is just as true in the New Testament as it was in the Old Testament. We still have families. We're going to talk about today what it means to be a part of a tribe. A tribe is the local church. I think the local church is the hope of the world. I think it's the greatest organization, and to some degree, the organization that you should invest in the most. I'm not saying that other nonprofits and things like that don't do great things. It's just that if the church does what it's supposed to do, most of those issues wouldn't happen. So I think we should, as God's people, a part of God's family, in his tribe, should invest mostly in the local church, because it's what moves the kingdom forward. So every local church in the world makes up God's nation. It's called the global church. So when you say the church, it both means yes and the local and the global. Why does the local tribes and the nation of God exist? To make his kingdom known. Here's what I love about God. He is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. His plan is not broken. If the plan was executed correctly and we understood how it worked, the kingdom would be known. That's why I told you, the enemy's attacking the family. Why? Because he doesn't want the kingdom known. He's attacking the family because he doesn't want the tribe to be successful. He doesn't want the nation to forward the kingdom so that the kingdom cannot be known. So that's what we covered last week. This week we're going to talk about tribe. Everybody say tribe. Which is the local church. Then week 3 we'll talk about the nation. What does it mean and what does that look like as a global impacting nation? And then we're going to talk about the kingdom. Remember, I told you, make sure you have somebody here on that 4th week when we talk about kingdom, because I'm going to talk about that it's an actually super inclusive invitation. Jesus never excludes anybody. He just gives them a choice. And we really need to understand this, because sometimes, I'll give you what's coming up. Sometimes God's family, God's tribe, sounds like the most exclusive people on the planet. And we need to understand that what we say sometimes sounds very uncaring. And we need to know what God's heart for making his kingdom known is, as we get the family right, as we get the tribe right, and get the nation right. So, 1 Corinthians chapter 12. If you have your Bibles, turn to 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 12 through 26. I like reading a lot of Bible. If y'all have not understood that yet, if you're new here, that's where we try to spend most of our time, because God's word is awesome. So verse 12, the human body has many parts, but the many parts make up one whole body. Everybody say amen. How many know that? It's right there. God's using a physical illustration to help us understand where he's going. So it is with the body of Christ. Some of us are Jews, some of us are Gentiles, some of us are slaves, some of us are free, but we've all been baptized into one body by one Spirit, and we all share the same Spirit. Yes, the body has many different parts, not just one. If the foot says, I'm not a part of the body because I'm not a hand, that does not make it any less part of the body. And if the ear says, I'm not a part of the body because I'm not an eye, would that make it any less part of the body? If the whole body was an eye, how would you hear? Stop right there. Everybody close their eyes. Picture a human being that's a whole eye. It's not very functional, right? It doesn't get the job done. Like you have no ears, you have no arms, you have no legs, you're an eyeball sitting on the ground, right? Like I need you to see that like the Bible's hilarious. Like you got to see that there is at least a little bit of sarcasm in there. Like he's like, who wants to be a whole eyeball? Who wants to just be and eat? Like you don't need to understand that. He says, how strange a body would it be if it had only one part? Yes, there are many parts, but only one body. The eye can never say to the hand, I don't need you. The head can never say to the feet, I don't need you. In fact, some parts of the body that seem weakest and least important are actually the most necessary. Think about this. Think about the parts of your body that don't get seen very much or don't get much attention, that probably they're actually some of the most important parts that if you did not have, you'd be in a lot of trouble. Okay, so that's what he's saying. He's trying to get us to understand the natural to the supernatural correlation. He's using this illustration, verse 23. And the parts we regard as less honorable are those we clothe with the greatest care. So we carefully protect those parts that should not be seen, while the more honorable parts do not require this special care. So God has put the body together such that extra honor and care are given to those that have less dignity. This makes for harmony among the members so that all the members care for each other. If one part suffers, all parts suffer with it. And if one part is honored, all parts are glad. Does not say that if one part is honored, all other parts are honored. I think it's cool. It says if one suffers, they all suffer. If one honors, they're all glad. Why? Because the scripture also says honor others above yourself. Learn to celebrate others when they do get attention showed to them or God does something in their life. Don't let jealousy creep in, because if you do, it's going to destroy the body. Jealousy is the number one thing that destroys the local church. Gossip is the number one thing. It's like feet talking about ears and ears talking about eyes and nose talking about mouths. And like it's this internal conversation where why am I getting attention? Why does the hand get to touch everything? I'm an ear, I'd like to touch something. Well, it doesn't work that way. And you have to be okay how God designed you. You've got to be okay with how God designed. That's why I said when I started this thing, listen, if you're a legit introvert and you don't like attention, then we want to show you a lot of care. How do I do that? All I can say is to all the other introverts in the auditorium, listen, when you see one and you know them, go show them extra care. Because a party waiting to happen doesn't need a lot of attention. How many know that extrovert person is fine? They feel loved, known, and needed. Anywhere they go. They literally, this is not bad, they think, everybody's glad I'm here. How many know that personality? It's not bad because we need that. Because if all of us introverts had a party, it's really not fun. It's kind of like, well, what are we going to do? And we'll all say the same thing. I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? And it's just this constant conversation about nobody making a decision. So you need the party waiting to happen to come in. Here's what we're going to do. Let's play a board game or something, guys, okay? Let's stop sitting around drinking Coke, not talking, okay? So we have to have some special care and go to those people because they're not going to walk. Here's what an introvert's not going to do. They're not going to walk through the front door, go straight to the VIP people, say, hey, just want you to know I'm here. I'm first-time guest. So glad to meet you. Can you tell me where the child care is? And I need to get plugged into this. But if you've been here long enough, there are legit people that walk in the front door and they get plugged in immediately. They're like, hey, guys, how you doing? Like, they VIP the VIP people. Some of our VIP people are like, whoa, calm down. This is my job, right? So it's this tension and understanding that all parts are equal. Some just require a little bit more protection, a little bit more safety, a little bit more going to, a little bit more getting outside of yourself to make sure that they're okay. That's very hard because the tendency is for us to be selfish. Extroverts say, well, you should just be a little more like me. Introverts look at extroverts and say, you should be quiet. And it's this tension, right? So the Bible's very, very cool in explaining, listen, everybody has different gifts, talents, personalities, and the whole body needs every single one of us. Regardless of what you believe your talent, your gifting is, how much you put it down, how much you don't think it's valuable, I'm telling you, this body, this tribe needs you. And listen, if you just want to be in a room, y'all probably never see it. Turn around, look over there. There's a window, my right, y'all's left back there. There are people in there. They're not going to look out that window because they can hear me talking. And they're like, please, Pastor, don't make me look out the window. Why? Because they're natural introverts, and that's where they want to be. But I'm just telling you, I am telling you, that is a part that doesn't receive a lot of visual attention. But if it wasn't there, I'm talking like this. There is no Facebook Live. There's no internet campus. There's no lights. There's no screens. There's no effect into the kingdom. Like, it's one of the greatest. People in the AV booth know I'm coming for them next. And they will, listen, I've done it before, and they fall down behind the wall back there. So I'm not going to, y'all don't look at them, really. Like, I need the sound to work. I don't need them to be distracted, like, oh, they're looking at me, and hit a button that's going to shut the whole thing down. Okay? Like, y'all have no idea. I'm the leader. They're kind of the boss. What do I mean by that? They can shut the whole thing down with one click. But they make everything run in here. Like the band, listen, our band is talented, but if they didn't have those guys, it ain't working. Like, you don't hear Barnett, you don't hear a guitar, you don't hear drum, you don't hear none of that. The lights ain't moving, we in blackness in here. So something that all of us blow by every single Sunday when we come in here, we don't realize how important it is. There are ladies who love rocking the babies. But listen, nobody thinks about that. So if you got young kids, you're thankful the kids are gone for an hour. You're like, whoo, thank the Lord for nursery. But you have no idea what they're doing inside there, the lengths that they go to, the price they pay. They're not very celebrated. And this is not bad or good. The Bible explains it. Listen. That's how the body works. I mean, how many of you have walked up to Barnett or somebody in the band and like, man, that was unbelievable. You got a voice. Yeah, that's going to happen because they're out front. So the Bible says, listen, they don't need that. But the up booth, the down booth, and journey, you might want to say thank you. You might want to go by when you pick your kid. I know, like, we run around with the rear ends on fire, and we wish check-in and check-out was a little bit faster. I got to get to the parking lot. How about slow down? Slow down. When that person hands you your baby, maybe just reach in, introvert, you do this too, reach in and hug them with the non-baby holding hand, and just tell them thank you. You don't have to give them anything. You don't have to just thank you so much for what you do. Because of you, I was changed today. That's what the Scripture's saying. So inside the local church, I'm going to say tribe, inside the multiple tribes all across the world that make up the nation of God, there's some things you need to know about if you're going to connect to that tribe. Some things you would want to know if we lived eons ago and there were more like tribes that actually do exist in South and Central America, and you were going to become a part of one of those and kind of get in. You want to know what they believe. You want to know what they value. And you want to know, okay, do I line up with that, and can I agree with that so that we can all like legitimately get along and appreciate each other. So on our website, and this is where most people start, but it's also where most people stop. On our website, we'll tell you everything that we believe about God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, the Bible, man, eternity, salvation, and eternal security. Here's what I would say to you, because some people do, some people don't. You should, if you're going to connect to a local church, that's the first thing you should read. Because you don't want to get 6 weeks into something and hear something come from the platform and you go, well, that's not in the Bible. I didn't know they believed that. Those are like, we call those non-negotiables. Like if you're going to be a church in the earth that preaches Jesus Christ crucified and resurrected, our statement of faith, that's what it's called. I believe you have to line up with that statement of faith because it's biblical. If you go to any legit church who preaches the Bible, they should all agree on those statements. I do not have the time to go through every single one of those, but here's my challenge. Go to our website, click on beliefs, look up what that is, because you need to know. Because then there's legit some non-negotiable, negotiables, which are okay, but these are non-negotiable. Here's my challenge to you. Whether you're here, you go somewhere else, you get plugged in, whatever tribe you choose, make sure that they line up on this statement of faith. Again, don't have time to go in it, so go to the website and look at it. If you did, most people, here's what happens. If you did that, you read it, and you're like, cool, they're not crazy. They actually believe in the Bible. I'm good. I'm going to connect to that church. That's still not enough. It says that every body, tribe, has different parts. They have different focus. They have different cultures. They have different negotiable beliefs that they operate on. Remember, statement of faith is non-negotiable, and then you're going to experience negotiable. What does that mean? It means mission, vision, core values. Hey, listen, if all we cared about was statement of faith, there'd be one church in Decatur, Alabama that ran 20,000 every single Sunday. I kind of wish it was that way. I really do. But it's not. It's not that way. It's not going to be that way. Why? Because as the local body, the local tribe has many individual parts, and we all need our gifts and talents and stuff. The nation of God has many different tribes to make up the nation, and they all have specific voices, cultures, and things that they are assigned to do in the earth. We need to learn as a church, the nation of God, to celebrate the ears. We need to learn to celebrate the feet. We need to learn to celebrate the eyes and stop wishing I was an eye or downplaying the ear because they hear a little bit different than you. It doesn't mean they're wrong if the non-negotiables line up. I don't ever want to dishonor somebody who preaches Jesus Christ crucified and resurrected. Why? Because what you sow, you reap. I'm not going to watch somebody on TBN and make fun of them because I don't understand what they're supposed to be in the earth. I'm just not going to do it. You're like, why would you not do that? Because I know what that feels like. I don't, people misunderstand local bodies all the time. Why? Because they make assumptions. They never go have a conversation. They never pre-check out anything. They read the statement of faith, or they think, man, that's a cool place. I'm going to go. And then eventually you're faced with a decision. And most people don't want to take personal responsibility about the decision they're about to make. What they do is they demonize the place that they were. And listen, there's legitimate reasons to leave a church. This is not that conversation. It doesn't mean that you're here forever, but I want everybody in here and everybody logged in to know, I want you here forever. I want you here forever. Forever. I know that's not always going to happen, but I want you here in my heart. I want you here forever. Why? Because legacy is built on longevity. Legacy is a big deal for us because that's a kingdom principle. That's how God operates. That's how he thinks. He thinks in generations, not in days. And so we need to think that way. If we thought that way, we really wouldn't get as butthurt over little tiny disagreements and things we're not really sure. How's that work? What does that look like? Because we are an imperfect church because we are all here. Like, you're no better than me. I'm no worse than you. Like, we're just all trying to make the kingdom known. So the way that we do that is we say, and listen, people read this and go, man, that's dope. We exist to see people experience life. That word life in our mission statement is capitalized. Why? Because Jesus said, I'm the truth, the life, and the way. So for us, that's what it is. And some people go, why don't you just say Jesus? I did. No, you didn't. No, I did. Jesus said, I am life. Does that make it more attractive to somebody who doesn't understand Jesus? Yes, I'll be honest with you. I'm pretty cool with words. I want to be attractional and transformational all at the same time. So I want to get them in. So I did not go away from Jesus. It's exactly John chapter 10, verse 10. Jesus said, I came so that you may have life and live it to the fullest. So I just thought, me and Benet was like, maybe we shouldn't reinvent the wheel. Maybe we should just be here the reason Jesus was here. Well, how many know that's probably a pretty good idea? So that's what we did. That's our mission. Every day, every moment, every service, everything we think about is that purpose. A mission is your purpose. This is why I am here. Why? To help people experience life. Now everybody say Jesus. And live that life to the fullest. Now, right now, today. So then what is our vision? Mission is why I'm here. Vision is where I'm going. Most places get this mixed up. Some places say, our vision is to blah, blah, blah. No. That was your mission. You need to know this. That's why we're here. Well, where are we going? To develop leaders to do transformational ministry, launching campuses worldwide. That's where we're going. Now, that seems very astronomical to some of you. Some of you got it. And so what we do is we try to bite-size out the vision. Hey, we're going to plant this many campuses. Hey, we'll unleash a map that's got like 30,000 people on it. And some of you are like, woo, I don't know about all that. And some of you are super fired up about it. So you got to kind of do this thing. Where's Alex Finley? Stand up. Hey. So you are not an introvert. You might as well stand and wave and be all kind of. Listen, so Alex finished ECLI, and so here's how this works. If we see a young upcoming leader who is a son or a daughter of the house, and they go through our leadership program, which you have to go through to be like on staff or launch a campus. He wants to be a campus pastor. He did that. He kept a very high average because I instructed him to for the time he was in our program. I said, if you'll do this, I will give you a scholarship to attend any leadership college that you want to. He was going to go to Hillsong, kind of looked some things out. That wouldn't happen, so he went to Elevate Life in Frisco, Texas. He will be finishing how many months? 1 year. He's got 1 year left. 1 year left. He'll actually have a 4-year leadership degree in very short time. Then Alex is coming back home, and he will launch a campus at the city of his choosing. We don't pick it, he does. Now, he's already diligently working. He's got some guys with him that they don't know. He's ghost recruiting them. So welcome to the house, guys. He's going to snatch y'all up. But I need you, so how old are you, Alex? 21. 21, potentially 22 and a half, campus pastor. Okay? You can sit down now. Bro, your love tank should be all kind of full right now. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that's the vision. Like when you look at Alex, that's the vision. It's empowering transformational leaders, developing leaders of the next generation. It doesn't mean that I wouldn't take on somebody who's in their 40s or their 50s. Wojo, where you at? Stand up. Stand up. So it's not one or the other. How old are you, Wojo? 51. Woo! That dude does not look 51, by the way. Okay? So 51 years old, he was a part of this house, has always been connected to us, but a part of this house as a worship pastor is in Carson City, Michigan. Come on, Carson City. God orchestrated us to come back together. They will be soft launching the campus in October. So great. So I'm not saying that you got to be 21. You can be 51. That's right. We're just looking for people who say, like, hey, this is dope. I like this vision. I like this mission. I'm down with those core values. Send me. I will reach those that nobody wants to reach. Thanks, Roger. So when you're making a decision, because some of you are here maybe for the first time or logged in, and listen, statement of faith, super important. Mission, super, you can't have one without the other. One's not more important than the other. Mission, super important. You got to know why that tribe exists. Like, what's their deal in the earth? You got to know where they're going. Don't ever join a local church without knowing where they've been or where they're going. Like, look ahead and ask somebody. Find somebody. Say, hey, what's y'all's like 5-year plan? What's y'all's 10-year plan? What's your 30-year plan? Listen, the staff knows. Now, listen, the truth is, not everybody all the way out to the parking lot knows our 30-year plan. Why? Because it's not necessary for them to know yet. You've got to give vision at the right time, at the right place, to the right people if you want to make the right things happen. Some business owners get a vision that they want a billion-dollar company, and they tell the first person they interview, and the first person's like, oh, I can't even spell billion. I don't need to work here. Like, that's crazy. That's too much. I just need a job. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to know who you're talking to, when you should tell them, how you should tell them, all those things. It's not hiding anything. It's just being connected to God to know when to say certain things. It's why he told Abraham, hey, start walking. Where am I going? I'll tell you when you get there. Why did he do that? Because if he had told Abraham the end, I think he knew Abraham would be like, no, not going. Think about it this way. How many of you have changed and you're better today than you were 10 years ago? Okay, really quick. How many of you, that change cost you some serious valleys in your life? Okay, imagine 10 years ago God said, hey, check, Dan. How old are you? When you get 44, and he described your life right now, but just so you know, over the next 10 years, this is what you got to endure to experience this life change. There ain't a person in this room and be like, sign me up. Shoot ya. Let me lose this, lose that, hate this person, they hate me, let me get sick, let me go. Ain't nobody, you understand what I'm saying? God, as daddy, knows how to communicate vision. Now look, right now, most of you would say, I really wouldn't change a thing because I know it wouldn't be where, like if I changed it, I may not be where I'm at. But look, if I showed you that stuff 10 years ago, you'd be like, no. Here's what you'd say, I'm fine. I'm good. Don't need to take a walk. I really believe that God said, this, you're going to go through this city, you're going to do this, you're going to pimp your wife out, you're going to make all these decisions, I'm going to be gracious, but you're going to blow it. Like, he'd be like, I'll just stay in Ur. I don't need to go and be all like, I'm good. So he told him something that he could see, taste, and kind of grab a hold of. That's how you communicate vision. If I told everybody the ultimate end-game vision of what God has allowed me to see, legitimately some people would leave. It would be too lofty, too big. It would sound arrogant. It would sound certain ways, and the enemy would use my immaturity of unleashing a vision that was not time to release yet to destroy everybody. So when we talk about that, you need to know that, but know you're not going to always know all of it. So you know mission and vision, and you also need to know values. Everybody say values. If you've been around here for a while, you should know what they are. They are freedom, relationships, excellence, servanthood, honor, generosity, and power. When a person leaves a local church, this is what they leave for. Every single time. Every time. What happens? They either read statement of faith, go, down with that? Going. We believe in Jesus? Awesome. And they get in, and they hear the core values, but they don't know how strongly we rest on them. And then we start talking about them. And the expectation is over the course of time, you transform into actually like being free, which for us looks like self-control and discipline, that you actually love relationships, which means you're nice. Like you realize our virtue for relationships is polite. So really what we're saying is like, hey, be nice. Be nice on social media. Be nice in here. Be nice in traffic. I don't know if you're in here, sir, but one of you blew your horn at me the other day with your little epic sticker on your car. Threw your hands up at your pastor because I didn't move fast enough. I bless you. But you might want to put a skull and crossbones over that sticker. Whatever. Listen. Yes, I got a new vehicle, you didn't know it. But hey, I bet when you saw that IM4 tag, you were like, oh, dear God. Good news, I didn't see who you were. I just saw the antics in your vehicle. We're all growing. We're all learning. We're all trying to get somewhere. It's cool. It's awesome. But people leave when they encounter a core value conflict. You will leave a family, you will leave a tribe, you will leave a nation, you will leave a kingdom when you have a core value conflict. When you actually run into the reality that we let those make the decisions and then we let those determine our life. Why? Because we believe that Fresh GP is the kingdom core values. We really do. We think God really likes freedom. We think he really loves relationship. He's really into excellence and servanthood. God loves honor. God is all about generosity, and God's all about power. 7. 7 is the number of completion. We believe those are heaven's core values, at least some of them. And we want to live those out. Why? Because we're trying to establish a kingdom culture. People typically choose churches like they choose buffets. What's in it for me? What are you serving up today that tastes good to me? And as soon as you try to make me eat broccoli, I'm done. Even though it's good for you. If you're trying to feed me something I don't want, because all I want is dessert. I want to eat chocolate cake every single week. I'm not going to serve up chocolate cake every single week. I don't even like it. I really don't like dessert very much. So what does that mean? I have to have a helpmate fit for me who helps me be sweet. How many of you know that's true? How many have been around here long? Like you 12 years in, and you go, yeah, Pastor needs help being sweet. Listen, I got it. I do. So I'm growing too. You are not the only ones that look at these core values and go, okay, God, help me be free. Help me value relationship. Like, let me see as you see. That's a journey that all of us are on all the time. But we're gonna talk about difficult subjects. We're actually going to hold, if you come and you're like, man, listen, I'm in it, then we're gonna have core value conversations, because the truth is, we're probably really never gonna have a statement of faith conversation. You're down with the Bible, you're down with Jesus, you understand God, you understand the depravity of man, you understand salvation, you got internal security, like you're on all that, but you chose to be a part of this tribe. This tribe believes all that, but we also have a mission and a vision that we will not compromise, we will not discuss, and we will not change. And we have core values that we believe are heaven's core values. We are a hand, because we do epic stuff. That's who we are, and we're going to be that, and we're not going to be a foot, and we're not going to be an ear, and I don't want to be, because God designed us. God designed us to be this voice in the earth. God spoke to us long ago and said, you will not be an echo. What does that mean? You're not going to be like everybody else. You're going to be unique in the earth. And here's what's cool. That's what he's saying to you. Don't be like everybody else. Be you. But let me say this. We need you. We need your talents, your gifts, just like you're made, your weirdness, your quirkiness, all that. Why? Because we want to make the kingdom known. If you want to know what is the real driving force, like you've heard me say kingdom so much this year, it probably is making you sick. If it is, I'm doing my job. Why? Because we want to make the kingdom known. I want to make the kingdom known in my heart. I want to make the kingdom known in your heart, so that we can make the kingdom known in the heart of others. Like that is the driving force of why we do what we do. All right, I'm running late. Super passionate about this, so I apologize. So 3 phases, and then I really am shut down. Go through them really quick. 3 phases. This is what happens over the course of you coming here. The first phase is called the discovering phase. That's when you see the shiny new thing and you're very attracted to it. And you go, oh, how many of you saw a very beautiful woman, guys, and you wanted to discover her? If you are married, you just blew it. You should have been all on that. Like your wife looked at every one of y'all like, okay, so you saw something beautiful, you saw something attractive, and you wanted to discover it. You want to find out what it's about. You want to have conversations. When people come here for the first time, they're in the discovering phase, and honestly, that's the easiest phase, because everything new is shiny and perfect. If you've been married for a long time, you finally understand that your spouse is not perfect. Like their breath actually stinks. Right? It's just true. You go, okay, been married for like 20 years. Can you brush your teeth, please? Right? Right? I mean, it's true. Why? It's not that the honeymoon's over, because we do believe the honeymoon never gets over, but it's this maturity where now we can have a conversation. We can get into real relationship. But when you're in the discovering phase inside the church, everything's new. And you're like, man, they got smoke and lights. That guy don't wear a suit, sweats a lot, but he don't wear a suit. I mean, this is great. This is what I always wanted. It's all good. The next phase is developing. I'm going to leave it for the last. Because the third phase is deepening. What does that mean? That means you went through discovering, and you got to a place where you really wanted to commit to the core values. Like you really love why we're here, where we're going, and you're willing to like contribute to it and invest. Like you, everybody say all in. All in. You are all in. And here's what you say, man, there ain't nothing that can separate me from my family. Some people say that while they're still in the developing phase, and they say it prematurely. The developing stage is actually the most dangerous phase. And everybody determines how long they're in that phase. But it is the most dangerous. It is the place where tension happens. The middle is always the tension. Okay, I've been here a while, and it's not so shiny anymore. I'm starting to see problems. You need to know what the devil's doing. He's trying to get you to see everything that's wrong instead of all the right you once saw. He does that in marriages. He does that with friends, and he does it with churches. Why? He hates the kingdom. So you're in the develop. Okay, all right, I'm in a small group. I'm doing the plan. I'm doing the thing. But you know what? That guy's dumb. That's stupid. I don't know why. The things you once bragged about become now the things you complain about. And what we don't understand is when you're having those conversations in here, you're almost never listening to the voice of God. It's always the voice of the enemy to separate you from the family and the tribe that has helped you up until this point. It's just not shiny anymore. Well, it ain't always going to be shiny. It's jumping to that phase to the, you know what, I'm deep in. If I need to have a conversation, I'm going to have a conversation. Here's the problem. When you have those conversations and we go back to, yeah, but our core values are. And here's what people say, yeah, but, no, we value freedom. Yeah, but, no, we value honor. Yeah, but, no, we value. Here's what people feel like. You don't want to have a discussion. No, I do want to have a discussion about transformation. And if you're going to be a part of this family, part of this tribe, a part of the nation of God, and you want to make the kingdom known in the earth, I got you on the journey, but here's your problem. It's not, you don't have a problem with what we believe in God. You don't have a problem with Jesus. You don't have a problem with any of that. What you have a problem with is like, we really want you to be free. And free is not doing what you want, when you want, how you want. It is self-control and discipline. That is what God says freedom is. And I really want you to have life and live it to the full. If you could just see this, and people won't see it. And they say, well, but why won't you like really do relationship with me all the time? Well, because we also do right relationships, and I can't hang out. I can't hang out with you all the time because of your life choices of what you're currently doing. I would love to hang out with you all the time, but I can't because I am polite in saying this, but I choose right relationships. I would love for you, very inclusive, come along, be on the journey. I really want you to. Why are y'all so adamant about like not leaving trash on the floor and painting little scuff marks? Why are y'all so? Because we value excellence. And people go, why do you push so hard over, here's what you think, tiny things that don't matter, because enough tiny things left unnoticed make big problems. Why y'all like telling us to get on the E-team all the time? I just want to come and sit because God didn't save you to sit. He saved you to serve. We value service. If you're going to be a part of this tribe, you need to know those things. Because I promise if you don't know those things, you're going to be here 2 weeks, 6 weeks, heck, maybe 6 years. I don't know how long you want to stand in the development phase. And we're going to have a core value conflict, and what you'll do is you'll go away and you will hammer this place on social media about how terrible we are and how awful we are. I'm not saying we're perfect. I'm not saying that every conversation we have with anybody all the time is great all the time. What I need you to see, we're just trying to have a core value conversation. Why? Because I want you to live life to the fullest. Because when we have those conversations, we never have those conversations with lost people. Not one time has somebody who is drinking all weekend, getting psycho, don't believe in God, who decided to start coming here, want to come in and talk about why y'all like picking up garbage? Why you want me to serve? But never say that. You know what they say? This is what I always wanted. Y'all hug too much, but doggone, it's pretty rocking in there. Why? Because they hear hope leave this platform. They see transformation in you guys. They feel Jesus in here. But who do we have that conversation with? People who come from other churches or people who have been here a long time, and they start listening to the voice to get them to hate everything they once loved. Listen, as a father voice in this house, don't do that. It happened to you when you were a teenager in your own home. I don't know if you remember the transformation chart. Child, like baby, child, teenager, and Jesus, the word he uses for teenager is also the description used for the Pharisee. When you were a teenager, you began to hate everything about your home and your mom and dad that you once loved. And you felt like, what I need to do is go make my own thing. And now you're like 40, and you're like, wow, Dad was super smart at 16. For some reason, right now in the season of our church, there's a lot of people coming back who left as a teenager, mad, aggravated over things they once loved. And they've gotten out and they've realized, might have not been so bad after all. Maybe they legitimately did love me. Here's what I promise you. I'll always love you enough and value your life over our relationship to tell you the truth. That's hard. It's never easy for me as the pastor of this church to watch somebody walk away hurt. Because I know they had good intentions. I know we had good intentions, but somewhere we had a core value conflict and the devil got in it and it went south. I don't want that to happen. We just all have to make the decision to move to deepening as quick as we can and refuse to allow the enemy to separate us from this house. Are people going to come and go? Yes. It's going to be because core values, 100% of the time. So how can we keep that from happening? We got to have honest conversations. And we have to humble ourselves and be willing to listen. And know that the greatest thing we want to do is just love you and love you well. But love is not sitting back watching you stand on a train track. That's not any kind of love at all. It's getting on the train track with you, trying to snatch you off of it, having conversations in love. Sometimes you let us, and sometimes you don't. But here's my promise. I'll never quit on you. I'll never quit on you. But if you leave here and you want to go to First Church of Fleet Feet because you need to be a foot and you don't like being a hand, that's cool. Awesome. I don't like running. But if you decide to leave here, do yourself a kingdom favor. Don't demonize the place that once nurtured you. And check out where you're going so you don't have this pattern in your life where you've been to 5 churches and you seem to can't find one. There's at least one common denominator in that move. At some point you got to look in the mirror and go, okay, maybe it's me. But I'll tell you this, we want you here forever. Forever. But that's what it means to be a part of this tribe so that we can make the kingdom known. Let's pray.